The first drill I'm going to show you is the ladder drill. We do this drill every day before practice. It's very important as far as footwork and pass protection. There's 4 basic ways we do it. We do 2 feet in every hole, we do 1 foot in every hole, we work laterally, and we also do what we call dancing through it forward and dancing through it backwards to help with footwork.
We'll begin by showing the drill of 1 foot in each hole, and it's just like described. The player simply puts 1 foot in each hole of the ladder as he goes through it. We have our players do this drill twice, and then we move to our next drill, which is 2 feet each hole. This is as described by the name as well. The player simply puts 2 feet in each hole. We encourage our players to begin with their left foot on one pass, and then the next time they go through it, use their right foot first, so they're leading with either foot. The next drill we do is the lateral drill. You see here in slow motion, the player just moves laterally through. We don't want their feet close together. We want them to keep a wide base during this drill. Now you can see it in regular speed. The next drill we call dancing through it. You'll see a full speed version here. Then we'll slow the film down some to describe what's happening. You'll notice as the player steps in, he replaces his next step in the same hole, and then when he plants his foot outside the ladder, he advances the foot inside the ladder. So when we coach this drill, we just tell players, when you plant outside, then move your foot up. Plant outside, move your foot up. You'll see it from the back each time. We plant outside, move the foot forward. And after we've danced through it forward, we have the players dance through it backwards. Here you see a full speed version of it. And we'll slow it down. You coach it the same way. They step their feet in. When they plant outside, they move a foot forward, or in this case, they would move the foot backward to progress along the ladder.
The dimensions of the ladder: each square is 3 foot wide and 14 inches long. There's roughly 18 squares in the length of the ladder, which will make it around 22.5 feet. The reason we like the metal ladder so much is it keeps your players' feet low to the ground as they're going through it. They don't have to pick them up high the way they have to do in the ropes.
The purpose of the ladder drill is to increase foot speed. You want players to start slow and let their speed develop in the drill. Have players have their hands up and thumbs together. Make sure players keep a bend in their knees and keep their hips as low as possible. You want players to have their eyes up as much as possible.
Next drill is the stance drill. This is to repeat your stance over and over. The stance that we use, the way we build it from the ground up. The first thing is we want to go a toe to heel stagger. You want to go shoulder width, hip to shoulder width. Always go heels out, toes in. Now we want to drop our elbows to our knees. After we drop our elbows to our knees, we want to put our hand on the ground. Hand of the foot that's back. Here it's his left hand because his left foot's back. This is a balanced stance. If I knocked his hand out, he should be able to stay right there, a balanced stance. We want to see eyes up and butt up in the stance. That is our 3-point stance. As we work stance drill, you'll see, when you see the drill, as we work stance drill, they're moving on my command. For instance, ready, run right, hit, reload the stance, run left, hit, making them reload the stance over and over. That's why I'm not concentrating on the first step or the length of the step. I'm concentrating on reloading the stance over and over. Run right, hit. Run left, hit. Run right, hit. Run left, hit. That's it, left, right, left. Run right, hit. Run left, hit. Run right, hit. Pass, hit.
The purpose of the stance drill is to maximize the number of repetitions our players get of getting in a proper stance. Remember, during this drill, we want to focus on the stance and not the steps. Our goal is to get our players in and out of stance as many times as we can so that they'll become comfortable with their stance.
Next drill is set drill. What you want to emphasize in set drill is the depth of the set and the feet work. Right here we're getting a good stance. Give me a good stagger, depending on if you're a guard or a tackle. What I want to do on set drills, I want to get 5 yards every time. Make sure I'm moving inside foot first. Take your first step. On set hut, ready, set hut. I want to make sure I take inside foot step first. After they set all the way through the next line, I want to see them punch and finish on the line. All set, hit, ready, hit. Punch, come down, ready, ready, hit. Set, hit. Reload, ready. Set, hit.
The purpose of the set drill is to help players develop a proper vertical set. You want to make sure players step with their inside foot first, have players take long steps and get deep quick. You want to exaggerate the depth of the set. We use a depth of 5 yards, while in a ball game we never set that deep. Have players finish the drill by punching and lowering their hips.
When doing mirror drill, you want to make sure the body position of the offensive player is correct. What I want to see is I want to see the hips low, I want to see the head and shoulders back, and the arms fully extended. If you're doing a hands-on fit drill with mirror, or the hands behind the back with the head up, shoulders back. Make sure the feet are moving parallel to the line of scrimmage.
The purpose of the mirror drill is to allow players to practice reacting laterally to a defender's movements. When we do this drill, we always use a yard line. Don't allow players to cross over or click their heels together or hop. We want to continue to see a bend in the knees and keeping their hips low. Players' shoulders and head should be back. Coach players not to lean forward during this drill. They'll have a tendency to want to lean forward and even move towards the defender. Make sure they don't lean forward during this drill.
The next drill is the set and punch drill. You're going to make sure your player starts off in a good stance with a good stagger, head back, with the center of gravity low. On a coach's command, he will set. Ready, set. What you want to do is work on the timing of the punch, make sure the hands are inside, and you get a good punch, good extension with the hips low. That's it.
The purpose of the set and punch drill is to work on pass sets and allow players to practice timing a punch. In this drill, you want to make sure players take a proper set, as we've discussed earlier. Coach players to focus on the target to punch. They want to focus on the defender's numbers and not get caught up in other body movements. Make sure players keep their head back, their hands up and together before the punch. They want to have their thumbs up and their elbows tight to their body. We want to punch the numbers and extend our arms and lock out.
The next drill is a combo drill. This is a combination of the set punch drill and the mirror drill. Have the player set, punch and extend, and then work laterally with a mirror drill in a fit position.
We use the combo drill to combine the requirements of the set and punch drill with the mirror drill. When coaching this drill, you want to coach the techniques of both the set and punch drill and the mirror drill.
Next drill is bull rush drill. There's two ways to do this drill. You do it with the hands behind the back or in a fit position. The first one will be hands behind the back. Make sure the player gets down. He wants to be in a position where he's already taken his set. His feet are almost square. His feet are almost square. Take the defensive player, want the hands on the outside. Now he's going to work a push move like a bull rush. Push, go ahead, go. Push, 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 freeze. As you notice, the player is working his front foot and his back foot. This is what we call the front foot. It's a post foot to stop the pull. The back foot is an anchor foot to stop the push. When the defensive player pulls forward, pull. He's using his post foot to keep him going forward, push. Using his anchor foot from going backwards. That's the bull rush drill with the hands behind the back.
Coach,
The second part of the bull rush drill is off from a fit. You work the same thing, feet are square, just like you've just set and made contact. Now the offensive player's hands are inside, defensive player's hands are outside. Looking for a push, push, go. Push, working the anchor foot, pull, pull, working the post foot. Push, anchor foot, pull, post foot.
We use the bull rush drill to help players learn to stop a bull rush while still maintaining a proper body balance. In this drill, a player needs to keep their inside or post foot forward and use it to guard against being pulled by the defender. Players should keep their outside or anchor foot back, and they use this to stop the bull rush of the defender. Remember, during this drill, you want to have your defender go about half speed.
The next drill is spin drill. The defensive player plays a very important part of this drill to make it realistic. Make sure he leans into the offensive player. Offensive player gets in a good stance, hands up. He's already made his set and made contact. Make sure the defensive player is leaning into him. As he spins, he wants to take big steps, and we're looking to replace the hands, keep the defender inside our body. Coming to me, guys. Ready? Go. Come to me, come to me, come to me, come to me, come to me. Stop. Going back, go. Stop. As you see, the key is keeping the defender inside your body and replacing your hands. That's a spin drill.
We use the spin drill to allow players to practice countering a spin move by a defender. You want players to maintain a proper body position. Make sure they keep their arms extended as much as possible during the drill. You want to keep the defender within the framework of your own body. And in this drill, make sure that you have the defender lean into the blocker.
Next drill we're going to do is the sled punch drill. What you want to make sure and do is get the player in a good low center of gravity position. Face mask should be almost on the dummy. Hands in a ready position. On go, I want to strike. Ready? Go! Make sure they lock out, arms straight, and the head back. Again. Ready? Go! That is the sled punch drill. That's it.
We use the sled punch drill to increase the speed and power in the punch while still learning to maintain a proper body position. It's usually best to coach this drill from the side so that you can see the position of the players' bodies. You want to make sure that they keep their hips low and their head back. You want their hands in a proper position before and after the punch. Have the player lock out after the punch. The drill you see here is what we call our hands drill. We begin with a player under the chute and another player outside the chute. The player comes off the football, tries to get his hands on the defender's chest as quickly as possible. During this drill, we really coach the hands. We tell him to get the hands on him as quick as we can. We want to see him shoot his hands inside, get on the defender so that he can control him and drive him back. During the drill, we'll also concentrate on the steps and other things, but our biggest focus in this drill is getting our hands on the defender and driving him. We do the drill straight ahead and then we'll offset to the right and take a zone step, get our hands on the defender and drive him. You see now we're taking a zone step to the left. Notice he takes the zone step, gets his hands on the defender as quick as he can and drives him away. So the series we'll do it from a 3-point stance and drive them out. We'll offset left and go play side right with a zone step to the right, and we'll offset right, do a play side left, zone step to the left. That's our hands drill. The drill you see here is our zone drill. We have our offensive player line up under the chute, and then he goes to block a linebacker on our zone play. If the linebacker tries to take him on, we tell him to gather and then cover him up. We want to just try to drive him straight off the ball and just cover him up, take him where he wants to go, but make sure we get on top of the player. And so we see here that we gather and cover him up. The other technique we use is when a defender is outrunning us, then we need to wash that defender by the play. We want to wash him and give our back a chance to cut back. So if we feel like he's outrunning us, we want to get on him and wash him outside so that our back can make a cut back to the inside. What's really important when you work on this is our hand placement. We want to see the hands inside so that we don't get a holding penalty. If you keep the hands inside on the rib cage or tell them to put their hand on their hip, then they'll be fine. What happens if you don't coach their hands, then they'll start wrapping their hands around the back of the defender. You'll wind up with a lot of holding penalties. So really work hard as they wash them. Work hard on coaching their hand placement. The drill you see here is what we call our stretch drill. We use it to help players work on reaching a defender so that we can run our stretch play. You see we start our player under the chute. He runs hard to try to reach the defender and works hard to get his hips around. We have some special technique we work with our hands. You see our offensive player come out here. He gets in this position. We want to see him reach with his left hand to put it on the outside chest and rip underneath with his right arm, try to get pressure underneath while he works hard to swing his hips around. Does a real good job of it here. Get another view of that same thing. He's running to try to overtake the defender. He's going to reach with his left arm to get pressure outside, rip underneath with his right arm to get pressure underneath, and works hard to swing the hips around. It's a real good picture of proper technique. But just coach your kids hard to get there and get their hips around, get there and get their hips around. If you help them learn to use their hands, they'll be more effective at this block. But that's what we call our stretch drill. We like to use our sled to help our players work on being explosive and also having proper technique when blocking a defender. We want to see them come off the ball, explode, get their hands on the defender, keep a wide base, and run their feet. See a good look of a good wide base right here as they drive the sled. Notice we also have our center snap the football. We like to have him snapping the ball in as many drills as possible just to help develop that consistency. After we've driven the sled from a three-point stance going straight ahead, we like to offset left, take a zone step to the right, and drive the sled. So we offset to the left, play a zone step to the right, keep good wide bases, the same technique that you always coach. Then we come back and we offset to the right, do zone steps to the left, and drive the sled. We like getting work on the sled because it helps with explosiveness, hand placement, keeping a good wide base. It's also useful for conditioning. We like to use some drills for conditioning. We don't tend to condition our players by running wind sprints or anything like that after practice. We like to simulate things that they'll do in a ball game to work on their conditioning. That's why we do the sled drive to condition. But here you see us doing another drill that we'll do. We just simulate running a screen pass, and so we have our players pass set and then sprint out to the right on the coach's command. So the coach would call for the snap count, the center snaps the ball, they pass set, and then when he says go, they sprint right or sprint left, depending on what he's instructed them to do before the snap of the ball. We'll also do this and work on our 60 or 90 pass protection. We'll throw the ball down the field, have the players sprint down the field to chase the ball. We'll tell them whether they're going to exit the sled going to their left or right, and have them just do sprints this way to condition themselves. Gets them in the habit. We work on good pass sets during the drill. They punch, then they sprint to the ball. Gets them in the habit of chasing downfield and trying to be around the football when a pass is thrown in a ball game.